Tom Bombadil, the Enigma, Sauron, the Dark Lord, both incredible in their own right, but how do they compare? And did they even know each other?
Build me an army worthy of Mordor.
We are introduced to Tom Bombadil in the Fellowship of the Ring. Even in a world filled with wondrous beings and spectacular creatures, Tom Bombadil stands out as a particularly mysterious figure. His strangeness has confounded readers for more than half a century. He is described as eldest, claiming to be first and fatherless. He resides in the old forest with his wife, Goldberry, and seems to possess a deep connection to nature. His powers are vast yet remain largely unexplained. He interacts with the One Ring in a way that no other character does, showing no interest in its power and remaining unaffected by its influence. In contrast, we have Sauron, the primary antagonist of the Lord of the Rings. Originally a Maya, a powerful spirit, Sauron was a servant of the Valar Aule before becoming the chief lieutenant of Morgoth, the first Dark Lord. Sauron's lust for power led him to create the One Ring, embedding much of his strength and will into it. His ultimate goal is to dominate all of Middle-earth. While Tom Bombadil represents an enigmatic and benevolent force of nature, Sauron embodies corruption, tyranny, and an unending desire for control. Their differences are stark, and their roles in Middle-earth couldn't be more contrasted. Now I'd like to stop here just for a moment to talk about our paid partner for today's video, and this is something that comes from personal experience. I have struggled with anxiety for a period of time. It's not something that I do like to talk about publicly, but I have used therapy before and it has helped me through some difficult periods, and this is where BetterHelp comes into it. They are our paid partner for this video, and I found it incredibly helpful to be able to talk openly and honestly with someone completely outside of my regular life when things have gotten a bit too much. My therapist would have no prior knowledge of me or my problems, which allowed me to get an objective outside perspective and new ideas to really help me to overcome my anxiety. I personally found it so much easier and more comforting to open up to a detached third party rather than someone in my inner circle. It kind of just took that pressure off. Like, I know my friends and my family always mean well, but sometimes unintentionally they can just make things worse. And my therapist truly listened without judgment and taught me new coping mechanisms tailored specifically to my situation. So, over time, with their support, I really made good progress and it has helped me so much getting through that anxiety. Of course, bad days still happen, but I am in a much better place thanks to all of this. So if you're anything like me and you don't really like to talk about this openly, but you could benefit from it, please check out BetterHelp. It's super easy to get started. You just need to fill out a questionnaire about your needs, and BetterHelp matches you with a therapist trained to support you in your specific situation. I'm grateful that I made the decision to try BetterHelp before, and then that they reached out to want to work with me to help you guys. It genuinely changed my life. It really did help me. And if you think talking through your challenges with an outside professional could help you too, please visit betterhelp.com/broken sword or select the Broken Sword during sign up to get started and receive a special discount off your first month of therapy. And now with that, let's get back to the video. To understand the contrast between Tom Bombadil and Sauron, we must first delve into their unique powers and the nature of their beings. Tom Bombadil's powers are deeply rooted in nature. He seems to have dominion over his environment, effortlessly commanding trees, rivers, and even the weather within his domain. He is unaffected by the One Ring, as I said, able to handle it without becoming invisible or corrupted, and even being able to see those who are wearing it as well. This suggests a level of innate power and purity that is unparalleled in Middle-earth. Tom's power is not just magical, it's almost primordial, predating the struggles and conflicts of Middle-earth itself. In contrast, Sauron's power is rooted in his mastery of sorcery and domination. As a Maya, he possesses significant innate power, but his true strength comes from his ability to manipulate, deceive, and control. The creation of the One Ring was his greatest feat, a masterstroke of dark magic that tied much of his power to the fate of Middle-earth. Through the One Ring, he seeks to control the other rings of power and, by extension, their bearers. His power is both psychological and physical, capable of bending wills and shattering armies. While Tom Bombadil's powers are tied to the ancient and benevolent aspects of nature, Sauron's are centered on control, corruption, and the pursuit of absolute dominion. And as well, by the way, if you are interested on learning more about if it was possible for more Rings of Power to have been created, please check out my last upload as well. But anyway, let's move on. Now that we have a grasp on their powers, let's delve into the fundamental differences between Tom Bombadil and Sauron. First, let's talk about their origins and nature. Tom Bombadil is an enigma. He claims, as I said, to be eldest and fatherless, suggesting he predates the world as we know it. His nature is deeply tied to the natural world, making him a timeless and almost otherworldly presence in Middle-earth. In contrast, Sauron's origin is well documented. As a Maya, he was created by Eru Iluvatar and served under Aule before being corrupted by Morgoth. Sauron's fall from grace and subsequent rise as the Dark Lord showcase his shift from a being of potential and creativity to one of corruption and tyranny. Their interactions with the One Ring further highlights their differences. Tom Bombadil, unaffected and uninterested, shows a profound disconnection from its corruptive power. This indifference sets him apart from all other beings in Middle-earth, including the wise and powerful. Sauron, on the other hand, created the One Ring as a linchpin of his power. The ring embodies his will and essence, making it both his greatest strength and his ultimate vulnerability. Their domains and influence also starkly contrast. Tom Bombadil's realm is the Old Forest, a place of natural beauty and tranquility where his power is absolute yet localized. He represents a force that is content within its boundaries, without ambition for expansion. Sauron's domain, Mordor, is a stark contrast. It's a land of fire, ash, and shadow, reflecting his desire for domination and destruction. Sauron's influence stretches far beyond Mordor, as he seeks to control all of Middle-earth through fear and subjugation. So, while Tom Bombadil is a guardian of a specific, peaceful part of Middle-earth, Sauron is a conqueror whose reach and ambition threaten the entire world. Now let's explore the intriguing question of whether Tom Bombadil and Sauron ever knew each other and how they might have interacted. There is no documented interaction between Tom Bombadil and Sauron in Tolkien's works. However, it is reasonable to speculate that Sauron, with his vast knowledge and spies, might have been aware of Tom Bombadil, especially given his unique immunity to the One Ring. At the Council of Elrond, when the topic of Tom Bombadil comes up, Gandalf explains that while Tom is unaffected by the ring, he lacks the power to challenge Sauron directly. Gandalf suggests that Tom would be the last to fall if Sauron were to conquer Middle-earth, but ultimately, even he could not withstand the Dark Lord's might indefinitely. Gandalf's statement highlights an essential aspect of their potential interaction. Tom's power is passive and defensive, rooted in the natural world, while Sauron's is aggressive and dominating, seeking to control and corrupt. This fundamental difference suggests that a direct confrontation between them would be unlikely and philosophically opposed. Speculatively, if Tom Bombadil and Sauron were to ever meet, it would be a clash of ideologies more than a physical battle. Tom represents the enduring power of nature and simplicity, while Sauron embodies the destructive force of ambition and control. Their encounter would symbolize the eternal struggle between these opposing forces. So, while it's fascinating to imagine what might happen if these two powerful beings cross paths, it is clear from Tolkien's narrative that their roles are meant to be distinct, highlighting different facets of Middle-earth's diverse and intricate world. Tom Bombadil's role in Middle-earth is a subject of much debate and fascination among Tolkien fans. His significance extends beyond his mysterious powers and into the thematic core of Tolkien's world. Tom Bombadil represents a timeless, unchanging force within Middle-earth. He is a guardian of nature, a being whose power is derived not from ambition or desire for control, but from an inherent connection to the world around him. This connection makes him unique, as he stands apart from the conflicts that drive much of the narrative in The Lord of the Rings. This idea of Tom as a protector and symbol of nature is reinforced during that scene at the Council of Elrond. When the possibility of giving the ring to Tom is discussed, it is of course noted that while the ring has no power over him, Tom would not understand the importance of the quest and would likely misplace or discard it. This really highlights his detachment from the struggles and ambitions that define pretty much every other character in the story at this time. In contrast, Sauron's role is one of relentless pursuit of power. His ambition drives the entire conflict of the Lord of the Rings, with the One Ring serving as the focal point of his power and influence. Sauron's desire to dominate and control stands in stark opposition to Tom's contentment with his natural surroundings. Tom Bombadil's presence in the story also serves to illustrate a key theme in Tolkien's work: the distinction between strength and might. Tom's strength lies in his wisdom, his connection to the world, and his ability to live harmoniously within it. This contrasts sharply with Sauron's might, which is characterized by cohesion, fear, and destruction. Ultimately, Tom Bombadil's role is to remind readers of the beauty and power of the natural world, and the importance of preserving it against the forces of destruction. His character underscores the value of simplicity, peace, and the intrinsic strength found in nature itself. And with all of this said and done, I do wonder, does it make you excited or fearful of his appearance in the Rings of Power show? I'll leave that one with you. And so there we have it. Tom Bombadil and Sauron are two vastly different figures in Tolkien's Middle-earth. Tom Bombadil represents the timeless, unchanging force of nature, immune to the corrupting influence of the One Ring. Sauron, on the other hand, embodies ambition, corruption, and the pursuit of absolute power through the One Ring. While Tom's power is passive and protective, centered on his connection to nature, Sauron's is aggressive and dominating, focused on control and manipulation. Their contrasted natures highlight the diverse and complex world Tolkien created. In essence, Tom Bombadil and Sauron illustrate the eternal struggle between the forces of good and evil, nature and corruption. Their roles remind us of the value of simplicity and the dangers of unchecked ambition. And I would also like to take a moment at the end of this video today to give you a quick update on The Guard, the short film that we are creating. Everything is going amazing. We have just shot block 2, and the rest of it should hopefully be shot soon too. As always, it is all the money from our Patreon that is funding this. In essence, it is a no budget production if you consider the large scale of film, but every pound that you give is a massive help to create an incredible story. I'm putting a couple of shots on screen now and some behind the scenes clips to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So if you would like to help support it a little bit more to help push us over the line, then please check out our Patreon. Every little bit really helps. And with that, now it is time for my question of the day, which is, what do you think about these two characters? Would Tom Bombadil ever need to confront Sauron, or does his power lie in remaining detached from such conflicts? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section down below. And now it is time to give a massive thank you to our patrons who continue to support the channel. You are all amazing. And if you have reached the very end of this video with me today and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It would massively help us out. And why not drop a like on the video as well? And with that, all I can say is, thank you for spending just some of your time with me today, and I will see you next time on The Broken Sword.